What's going on, team? Are you sitting down getting ready to set your goals for next year, but in the back of your head, you know it's going to be just like the years before? You're going to miss it, you're going to fall up short, or you're going to quit halfway through?
No.
Well, the good news is we got 3 simple steps that are going to make sure you become one of the winners and you hit and achieve all of your goals this year. That's right, 3 simple steps. Now let's get into it. Like always, I make these videos just to help those in the ways that I've been helped in the past. So if this video is helpful to you, make sure to pass it along to a fella or a fellette near you. Seriously. Pass it along. Well, just like we said in the intro, it's that time of year again where you're starting to sit down, figure out what your goals are going to be, what actions you need to take, how you're going to achieve them, when you're going to achieve them, and all the things. Well, I got a number for you that's a little bit scary, at least it's scary to me. Did you know research shows that only 8% of people actually achieve their goals? That hurts a little bit. Only 8%. We don't want you to be one of those percentages. So that's why we found out the 3 things that keep people from hitting their goals. And shocker, that's going to be the 3 things that we focus on to make sure that you are one of the 8% that hits your goal and not the 92 that fails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down these 3 magical things in a quick little overview, and then after that we're going to break them down one by one and dive deep into them and make sure that we start achieving. Okay, so number 1, you don't have a clear vision on what your goal is. You don't know how you're going to get there. Another little sidebar, you make too many goals at once. But back to it. Having a clear vision. So what do I mean? So you just say, I want to make X amount of dollars. You don't actually have a clue how you're going to get there. Am I getting a new job? Am I just going to start doing better at the job I'm at? You have no idea. You just go, yeah, I want to make more money. That sounds good. Well, that ain't going to get it done, son. You need to clearly define a path and a line of how you're going to achieve it. So number 1 is having a clear vision. Number 2, you don't look at the scoreboard, right? So like, let's say, for example, you want to lose a bunch of weight. Well, that means you're going to have to be getting on the scale. You're going to have to be looking in the mirror and you're going to have to say, am I making a difference? That scoreboard tells you if you are achieving the thing. And most people are so afraid that they're not going to achieve that they don't actually look at the scoreboard because they're afraid to see how bad it is. Number 3, your pain threshold. You cannot quit, right? So let's say you want to open up a new business. You're going to start a new thing, but you fail to realize how hard it's going to be, the sacrifices you're going to have to make. Or maybe in the beginning, that means for X period of time, you're not going to be able to go buy and do all the fancy things you want to buy and do so that you appear like you're successful.
Not gonna make this one.
You're gonna have to put off the pain of what other people think about you being true. Doesn't mean that it is, but you're more concerned with what others see versus what the reality of it actually is. So number 3, famous line of my pastor, if you don't quit, you win. Just a quick little sidebar of something I'm going to kind of overlook because this is actually one of the things, but you're going to write it down. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you've already skipped past this step. This is something you have achieved. So understand you need to write it down. So if you're not writing it down right now or taking notes, stop it.
Shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember them. Yeah.
Stop it!
Hit the pause button, get a pen or pencil, and make sure you start writing this thing down, okay? All right, y'all, we're gonna get to where we're breaking this down now. So you got your pens, you got your pencils, get ready. Number one is having a clear vision, okay? This needs to be so clear that you can stand on it.
Gang with a prayer and a wish and a dream. I stand on that.
That no matter what's going on, you can look through and know that's where I'm going to go. Like it's just a statement of fact. What do I mean by that? So some number of years ago, much like many of you are doing right this second, I got all my things open. I got my spreadsheets up, I got my trackers down, I'm figuring this out, I'm gonna set my goals, I'm gonna do the thing. And to be frank, more often than not, I didn't achieve the goals I wanted to achieve at the time. I did every now and again, but as far as all of them holistically, yeah, majority of them I wasn't hitting, right? So I just all of a sudden, I closed all the things, closed my laptop, put away the notes, shoved this to the side. I was like, you know what? How about we ask God? How about we ask him what he wants me to do in this moment? So straight up, just ask God, what am I doing this year? What do you want me to do? Now, to me, that was open-ended. I didn't know if that was a money thing. I didn't know if that was an action thing. I didn't know what it meant. And he drops a number on me and he made it a money thing. And to be frank, I was kind of taken back because it was double the best year that I'd ever had. Double.
Peace up, A-Town down. Yeah.
And I thought I'd already done pretty dang good. And I would have never given myself this goal, all right? Best case, I would have maybe put a couple grand on my best year. He decided, you gonna double it. And when he told me, I just knew it as a truthful, factual statement because guess what? Old boy, God, he don't lie. So if he says something, it's the truth. It's already done, it's already happened. So you just gotta get in line with it.
Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
What are you talking? In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out.
So what'd I do? I started getting in line with it. So I opened everything back up. I'm like, all right, so this is the number I gotta hit because he said so. So now what? So I started breaking down, okay, if I'm going to do those things, if I'm going to accomplish those things, it means, and I was in sales, right? It means I'm going to have to make X sales, I'm going to have to do X things, I'm going to start doing X actions. So because of that, because it came from him, it was a statement of fact. And honestly, just kind of reactively when he said it initially, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna make a little side bet with you, man. I immediately jumped on board. I'm like, 100% double, let's go. I was like, you know what? If you do that, I'm gonna tithe X amount of dollars, right? I'm just like, I'm gonna add to that because part of me was like, let's go, right? Well, come August, already hit the number. And by the time the end of the year came around, he took my tithe plus my extra that I gave, and I still wound up with the number he gave me. So he gave me enough left over. He said, no. And when I asked him at the end, he's like, no, I told you that's what you were gonna do. Man, I was still in shock from it, to be honest with you, right? So when I say a clear vision, something you can stand on, that's what I'm talking about. When you walk away, you need to know that it's done. It's gonna happen no matter what. You are doing the dang thing. So let's step this down. Let's break this out. What do I mean? So let's say it's an amount of money, right? Okay. So you want to go for a certain amount of money this year. Cool. How much is that a month? How much is that a week? How much is that a day? And once you got that, based off of whatever it is that you do, let's say if you're in sales, for example, how many sales do you have to make a day? So this is what I mean by you need to have a clear vision. Remember, you're going to have a scoreboard. We're going to get into a minute. Slow down. Don't be getting ahead of me. You need to say, okay, this is my goal. Don't just stop there. Break down what that means on a day-to-day basis. You got to do the math on it. You can't just assume, oh, if I want it bad enough, it happens. No, you need to know what the actions you have to take are, right? So like when Jesus said, hey, go over there, catch a fish, the coin for the tax is gonna be in his mouth. You still gotta go over there and get the fish and open the fish's mouth. Coin just didn't appear into your hand. There's an action that you have to take.
What's the matter with you?
Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
All right, so the last part about number one, right? Don't go chasing all the things, right? Don't go try to set these 87 big goals. Figure out what's most important to you. Maybe it's just one thing. Maybe there's just one thing you want to achieve this year. That's fine. Don't think that there's something wrong with that. But you need to not go chasing so many things that you can't ever get there, right? Or you don't need to try to get so detailed about every single day and every day so broken down that every day's gotta be 1,000,000% day.
To us, I'm a peacock, Captain. You gotta let me fly on this one.
Stop it. Have you ever heard the saying, people overestimate what they can do in a day, but they underestimate what they can do in a decade? That's because most people chase too many things at once.
Do me a favor, don't go chasing waterfalls.
Was that accidental or were you trying to quote TLC on purpose?
I don't even understand the reference.
Focus on what you know 100% you will achieve. So when you're breaking down these actions, you need to break it down to where, okay, if I do this every single day, there's absolutely no way possible that it won't work, that I won't win.
These guys are pros. You thinking what I'm thinking, partner? Aim for the bushes.
Right? So I'm gonna give you a famous Marcus quote. At least I don't think anybody else says it. If anybody else says it, whatever, but I believe it's original to me. So, small actions make big impacts. So stop chasing big impacts and start chasing the small actions that achieve them. So, quick little example of this is what I mean. Let's say you're in a situation, this is gonna be a goal for a lot of people right now, or just in general, it always is, right? You wanna lose a lot of weight, or you just wanna maintain or gain or get a certain physique. Well, if you're in a position where you know you just gotta make a big change physically, then rather than trying to chase down every last inch of every last macro, then you know what you need to do on a daily basis? Don't eat garbage, work out.
Adventures. He got in shape, putting in the hard yards, turning pains into gains, and never skipping leg day. He went from dad bod to god bod.
That's it. Now, is that gonna get you all the way there? No, but it's gonna be 98% of it. So stop chasing that full 100 spec. All right, so 98% of it is just stop eating the cinnamon rolls and stop sitting on the couch.
Stop. Stop, Jay. I know you think I'm down there wallowing in my own self-pity.
You do that every single day, watch what happens. Don't get so worked up into this big picture thing that you overwhelm yourself. That's one of the big reasons when people don't set a clear vision of their daily actions, they make their daily actions way more than you're ever gonna get done on a consistent daily basis. So what can you do daily, consistently, that is very attainable? All right, here we go, we're on to it. Number 2, this is a big one. You got number 1, you got your goals. Fantastic. You've written them down. Fantastic. You know the actions it's going to take. Fantastic, right? So number 2, look at the scoreboard daily. I don't care where you're at, what yesterday was, what last week was, you're ahead of schedule, behind schedule, don't care. Look at the scoreboard daily. And you're probably thinking, I don't think it matters to look at it daily. Let me give you a little insight. Let me pique your imagination, as it were, into how important a scoreboard is and the time and the management of that scoreboard. So let's say you're a stud, you're in the NFL, you're an NFL MVP, all-pro defensive player. So you're on the defense, and it's the Super Bowl, and you're going against Tom Brady. Legit, I want you to think about that. MVP, defensive player, Super Bowl. You're up against Tom Brady. Like, think about the pressure and what that feels like. Now, let me add to it. Super Bowl. Tom Brady. 2 minutes left in the game. He's down by 6. He's got the ball.
Hey, we ain't done, fellas!
How much more pressure is on your shoulders now? The scoreboard absolutely matters. It brings intensity to the situation that needs to be there and that you need to be aware of. If you don't know that there's 2 minutes left and Tom's only 6 points behind, you're not going to play hard enough. Straight up. Because anybody who knows that boy at that position and that time, he probably gonna figure it out and you about to have a bad time, right? So you need to know the level of intensity in which you need to play. And the only way you're gonna know that is by looking at the scoreboard.
Oh! Y'all thought y'all was getting out of here easy. Oh no!
Okay, so you gotta track the scoreboard daily. But what does that mean? I'm so glad you asked me that question. So let's think about it. What's on a scoreboard? How many points do I got? How many points do they got? How much time's left in the game, right? So you need to figure out what your scoreboard is. So let's take, for example, we'll just roll with this throughout all three. You want to make X number of dollars, right? So let's say you want to make X number of dollars. You're a salesperson, so you know how much you have to make per day in sales. Okay, so now what? Well, now we got to make sure that our scoreboard's on track. So the purpose of a scoreboard is because you want to win, right? If you hit these numbers on scoreboard, you win.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? That's you, buddy. Come on, 23.
So here you go. You want to make X amount of dollars per day because you're looking at this daily. So what do you have to do every day to make that amount of money? How many people do you have to talk to? How many deals do you have to work? How many contracts do you have to sign, right? You need to figure out what your 3 main things are. Don't go tracking a cajillion things. We already talked about this. Real quick glance, boom, boom, boom. And if you're trying to figure out, well, how do I know what those big things are? You need to know, if I don't know this number, I will miss. That's when you need to check. And I guarantee you could really get down to the nitty gritty and you could find all sorts of things, but tracking it doesn't necessarily make or break. So let me give you an example. I'm chilling with one of my homies one time and we're having a similar type conversation. He is a bodybuilder, right? So I asked him, I was like, let me say you're getting ready for a competition. You're doing all the things, you got all the things. What would happen if I told you absolutely under no circumstances you can't see a mirror? You cannot look into a mirror. You do not get to know what you look like. If you do, someone's gonna put a gun to your head, you're gonna die. What would happen? He's like, I'd lose. It's not possible to win without looking in the mirror. That's what I'm talking about. What is it that if you don't do on a daily basis will be impossible for you to win? So you got to close how many deals a day? If you don't close that amount of deals, you lose. How many people do you have to talk to close that amount of deals? You don't talk to that amount of people, you lose. This is what I'm talking about. When you're making your scoreboard, make it as short and as easy as possible. What has to happen to win? What do you have to know if you're winning? And that's as detailed as it needs to get. All right, so now here's the big one. Here's the one that is genuinely, truly, you accomplish 1, you accomplish 2, but now you're on to 3, and 3 is a bit of a doozy. Not gonna lie to you, it hurts a little bit. Number 3, if you don't quit, you'll win. If you're a member of the church, you know this is a famous line of my pastors, and honestly, I love it. Shocker, he is a bit of an ex-athlete, so hence why he makes statements like this, but it is super, super big. Now we're gonna dive into this a little bit so that you understand where I'm going. So, how do you not quit? Well, we already know that if you don't quit, you win, right? So how do I not quit? How do I face these things? The first thing you gotta do is you've got to learn to be thankful, right? And that means there's gonna be times that are hard and you have to be thankful in the hard times, right? So remember, be thankful because he already gave you the vision. Number 2, be thankful for all the daily sales and things he's already done for you and the things you've already gotten, the feet beneath you, right? So you have to start being thankful to God for the things that you already have. You have to acknowledge it, because if you start thinking about the bad, what you look at is where you go, right? So focus on being thankful. It will outweigh the bad, I promise you. So let me give you a little example of this, right? Because I know you love examples. You're welcome.
No, don't like that.
Let's talk about our boy Paul for a minute. I would say Paul is definitely one of them 8%ers, right? The old boy achieved his goals. He did the dang thing, right? So one of my favorite stories of Paul in a situation just like this, not quitting and being thankful, is what caused him to win. If you want to go to Acts 16, I'd encourage you just to go through the whole chapter, but basically we're going to be talking about 16 through 40, basically, kind of the gist of it. So the overlook, Paul and Silas are running through the town and they're doing all the things, right? They're doing what Paul and Silas do, and they get imprisoned. Now, before they get imprisoned, they actually get beaten badly. Like they're taking lashes like they're getting beat up. So you're probably thinking, how can you be thankful in a situation like this? I just got beaten, now I'm thrown in prison. Well, let me tell you what Mr. Paul and Silas did. Not Siri, Silas, right?
Cyrus.
So they start at midnight praising and worshiping God. So here they are, and trust me, I would bet if you're watching this video, you haven't experienced anything like what they just experienced. Their pain is much more than whatever pain you have going right now, I promise you.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
And they found a way to be thankful and praising God in this moment. So what happens? They're doing this. Everybody in the prison's checking this out. They're like, look at these old boys over here. Earthquake comes, shakes loose the gates. Everybody could go bailing out. Like, there's the victory. Mind you, he did stay in place. More of the story, like I said, read Acts 16. It's a big one, lots take places, but it's just part I'm talking about. So because he was thankful in the moment of adversity, he won.
All I do is win, no matter.
So when we talk about don't quit, it means no matter what happens, you don't quit. You know what the goal is. Paul knew what the goal was to go teach and preach the word and bring people to God. Just because something happened to him didn't change what his purpose was. Just because you had a bad day, it doesn't change the number that you need to make so you can pay your mortgage, right? So you need to make sure that you're being thankful in all situations and in all things, and that is how you keep from quitting. So if you don't mind, owners, I'm gonna
No, never. Y'all will never do that again.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna poke at you for a quick minute on some pains that I know you're probably going through. If not now, at some point you have, or maybe you come up in the future. Here are some pain points that you are going to deal with as owners. All right, so here we are, we're talking about it. Let's just set the stage, right? So you're in a situation where you can't pay a vendor, you can't make your payroll payment, whatever the case may be, you're in a situation, it's bad, right? What I need you to remember, like when we talked about Paul in Acts a minute ago, Paul knew that suffering was built into the equation, right? And because he knew that it was built into it, when he was beaten, put in prison, it didn't stop his daily actions and the things he needed to do. He knew that I just need to continue to teach and preach the word of God, and I do that by praising and worshiping him. Probably, if you remember, you go back to step number 1, when you had that clear vision, there were daily actions that you were supposed to be taking. And at some point in time throughout the year, probably what happened, you were hitting it so consistently that you stopped looking at it daily. And now those small daily actions have led you to the problem that you're in. So you don't need to completely crumble down, stop doing everything. Like, just, it was working, you just stopped being thankful for it and you stopped paying attention to it. So remember, when you set your clear vision, step back, look at your paperwork. Bad times are absolutely going to come. They're going to happen. Things outside your influence, things that you influenced on your own by not following the correct actions. You absolutely 100% cannot quit. And the way you're not going to quit, the way the thoughts of quitting get outweighed is by your thankfulness and where you're at. So you did number one right. You set the goals. You made them clearly. You're checking out the scoreboard. Well, now because you're checking out the scoreboard, you have some pain. You don't get to stop. You don't get to stop. You've got to keep on moving. You've got to keep on pushing. One foot in front of the other. Get through it. Don't stop. All right. Last thing I'm going to say about number 3, I'm going to give you a little superpower, a little magic easy button to hit, if you were. This is going to change the game for you in making sure that you achieve number 3 on your goals, right? So you're going to pull out the good book and follow along. If not, don't worry. Your boy's got you. I'm going to pop it up on the screen there so that you can read along with me. We're looking in Matthew 11, 28 through 30. Let's get into it real quick. Come to me, all of you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You've heard this before. It's cast your cares on him, right? That's exactly what Paul was doing in the prison. He had a really bad moment, and you know what he did? He just gave it to him. His word says to give it to him. It's going to take action on your part. Paul had to take the action in the prison to do the right thing. I'm not saying you can't make a mistake. You're gonna. But you can take your problems and put it to the right place. You can be thankful. You can give it to him, and this will keep you moving. And if you stay moving, you don't quit, you win. All right, now if you're still here, it's time for the grand prize. Check it out. If you're still here in this video, you've been watching all the way through, I got a little something for you that I want you to carry on as you make your goals and for the whole year. You 100% will be part of the 8%. You will achieve your goal. There will be balloons and confetti and all that. That's my the
happy.
Anyways, this will happen. You are going to achieve it. You're going to be one of the 8%. You're going to do it because you are going to set and make and have a clear vision. You 100% are going to look at that scoreboard daily, and you will win by being thankful. So, like always, I appreciate you being here. If this has helped you, for real though, hit the share button. Send it to a fella or a fellette. If you know what to do, go out, get it done. If you don't, if you still need some help, click on the link below and let's see what we can do to help you moving forward. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.